I'm sorry, I read the thing. It said please request host to permission. So only Mari can record.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, so today we're gonna be hold on, my fridge is making noise. Okay. Hey guys, so today we're gonna be making salsa for our class today. I'm Gati.
I'm Alma.
I'm Mariana.
And I'm Sara. And the first thing you have to do is make sure you're sitting on the table and that you have nothing on the table, okay? So we're going to give you a couple of seconds to do that. If you want, put pause and go to a table.
And now after you've done that, what's the most important step you have to take before you start cooking? Anyone guess? Well, it's washing your hands. So if you haven't already, guys, please pause the video and come back when you're done.
Okay, if you're back, it means you already washed your hands with soap and water, okay? If you forgot the soap, that's fine. Just pause it again and please go wash your hands with soap because this is super important. Okay, you should have super clean hands. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your cloth, you're gonna put water and clean your table so that you're working on a nice and clean area. Alrighty.
Now, guys, it's important to have your ingredients in front of you.
So the first thing that we're gonna do is take our tomato and cut it down the middle. So with your plastic knife, be super careful and cut down the middle of your tomato. Then cut through the middle of each of the halves again. Good job. Doing great. So then cut them into quarters again. So we're trying to make the tomato into as many cubes as possible for our salsa because that way we can put it on our chip. We can't put a whole half of a tomato on our chip. So we need to make the tomatoes into tiny cubes. So Sara is gonna keep cutting this tomato in halves. Until they're as small as possible.
And guys, something you have to do is this part, make sure to cut it off and put it to the side because you don't want it in your salsa.
Yeah. Time as you need to cut the tomatoes. Very good. How are your tomatoes looking? Are they nice and small yet? Or do you still have giant pieces? Cutting the tomatoes into smaller and smaller pieces so that it can be in her salsa. And the juice is super important too, so don't let the juice go to waste because that's what's gonna make the salsa flavorful and easy to put on your chips. There's Sara putting it into a bowl. She's making sure to get all of the juice. Good job. So, and then there she's cutting them up even more just to make sure that they're in as small pieces as possible. So now, if you're done cutting your tomato, if not, pause the video. We're gonna move on to cutting the onions. So the first thing we're gonna do, see the onion has all of these layers. You're gonna separate each layer, like Gati's doing. And then we're gonna cut them up into squares again. So each layer, cut it in half and in quarters, and cut it until it's as small as possible. And I know you guys have probably heard that if you cut onions, it makes your eyes water, it makes you cry. So the best way to not have that, I've heard, is to put bread in your mouth because it stops you from crying. Or if you have glasses, it helps to stop the aroma from irritating your eyes, which makes them water. So if that's a problem, then that can help. So there, look at Kati. She's cutting them. She's stacking the layers on top of each other so that she can cut them up quicker. But if that is too hard for you, you can go one by one. And also, I want to say that if you don't like onions, or you don't like tomatoes, or you don't like any of the ingredients, this is your salsa. So you can put whatever you want in it, or take out anything that you want. If you have peppers and you like it a little spicy, you can put peppers, and or anything that you want, any vegetable that you want to put in it. It's your salsa for you and your family if you want to share. So great job, got these, cutting them into the little squares. She's almost done. But again, take all the time that you need to cut them up, because you want your salsa to be as good as it possibly can, and you don't want giant chunks of onion that you're biting into, because that's not good at all. Very good. So now Kathy is going to take the onions and put them in the bowl with the tomatoes. And if you haven't finished chopping your onions, pause the video right now until you're done, and then you can start it again. Great job. So next, we are going to be using cilantro. So here's Alma with some cilantro. And what's really important about this is that you can't cut the cilantro. You have to use your hands, and this is why it's really important that you guys wash your hands, because you don't want all of your germs in your food, especially if you share it with other people. So we're gonna tear the cilantro to release all of the great flavors in it. So there's Alma tearing all the cilantro into tiny little pieces. And obviously you don't need to put all of it in, just put a little sprinkle in so that you get a little flavor, but it's not yucky. So here, Sara is making her salsa. And Sara, for example, she doesn't like onions, so she only puts tomato in it. So that's an example of you being able to personalize your salsa. So Kathy here also is putting some more onions because she likes, more tomatoes because she likes tomatoes. So the next thing is just to mix next we're gonna take the piece of garlic. And so you see how it has like a shell around it? That's super yucky. You don't want that in your salsa. So you need to rip it off. So with all of your strength, or not all, but a lot of your strength, you need to take off the thing. And then with a knife, you're gonna press against the garlic with all of your strength so that you can break it and release all of the great aroma and flavor. So you can put that in your salsa. But obviously, if you don't like garlic, you don't have to put it. So there is Gati doing that. So there she's pressing on the garlic with the knife. so that she can open it. She cut it in half. So that's what you should do. Cut the garlic in half and then chop it into little pieces. And then yeah, there you go. And this one, you really need to make sure that the pieces are super tiny because getting a giant clump of garlic is super yucky. And you don't want that in your salsa if you're putting garlic in your salsa. If not, doesn't matter. But take all the time that you need to chop them into little pieces because we're making this salsa with a lot of love, the same way that your parents might make you salsa. I know that my parents love to make salsa. So then Gati's gonna take her little pieces and she's going to put them in her salsa. There we go. And the final step is we're gonna take a lime, or the lime. Here we can see Sara with her lime. And we're gonna squeeze that juice into the salsa. And as much as you want, but it's to your taste. So if you don't like it super sour, don't put that much, but you can go on and try it as you go. Just use your plastic spoon to try. And then look how beautiful that looks. All of the sauces in there together, marinating and creating all that delicious flavor. And that's perfect for you to use as dip for your chips. And it looks super good. There, she's trying it. And it's super good. So if you need to pause at any point in this video to see how to do it, or if you need to add extra after you try it, personalize the salsa to yourself. Make it good for you because obviously everybody has different tastes. Sara likes a little more lime apparently. So yeah, anyway. Thank you so much for watching this video and we'll see you next cooking class. Bye.
Bye, enjoy.